Hi. Okay, and guess what? I am finally finished all of my, well, both my pages for Project Life, my favorite book, and reasons why. So my favorite book was Jane Eyre, and the reasons why I chose her, the book, sorry, was because she was very inspirational. She was a very strong person. Despite, I mean, she had many hardships. She had such an abusive life, and despite all that, she remained hopeful. She was very resourceful. She was very intelligent. She was very strong. She got pushed down a lot, but she always got back up. And I really, really admired that. Um, so that is why I love the book so much, and I think it's a great book for all young ladies and women to read that book and to pull from it to help you, to get through it. Very inspirational. So okay, so here's what I did. I used the Maggie Holmes Project Life kit, the flea market mini kit. That's what I used, and I used the Affirma pack from the Maggie Holmes. See, I even did some cutting. I cut one of the shapes there for the ticket. I also used the Maggie Holmes the chipboard, and I put, they didn't stick very well, so I had to use the adhesive, the Tombow glue. And I just used the Affirma for layering, and I did some stamping, and I also did some printing because I have really, really bad penmanship. So I don't think it's great. Some people say it's cute. I don't think so. So I did some printing and some stamping. But I had a lot of fun with this one because it wasn't just about scrapbooking. It was about telling a story. It was about bringing me into this, but it was about bringing everything that I do into these 2 pages. I have a studio, so I do a lot of different types of things here. I do mixed media, I color with Copics, I teach Copics, mixed media, painting, you name it, I do it here in the studio. So it was really awesome for me to be able to bring all of that into Project Life. I had a lot of fun creating. It was more like a game for me. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to pulling out my next kit and challenging myself with another prompt. And if you'd like to follow along, don't forget to join us at the Facebook group, and I'll have a link directing you in that direction. Okay, so here we go. All right, so the first card, what I did was I did the corners with the chipboard, and I glued it down. The cage is stamped. I don't know what stamp it is. I don't know. I just wish it had a door. The bird and the print is all, I printed it with my printer. So I did a template, and with that template then let me see if I can, I can't find it offhand. It's gone. It's missing. But what I did basically is I did a template in Photoshop, and let me see if I can find this, if you don't mind a little delay here. And I will, there we go. Okay, so sorry about all that craziness. We're flying here and there and everywhere. So here was the template, right, that I pulled off the internet, and I will have them share the link of the lady who did that template. And this is for the 3x4 cards. So what I did is I basically did the double-sided tape onto here, not the card, and then I put it on here like this, and turned it upside down and ran it through the printer. So that was great, and that's how I did my printing. For the 4x6 cards, because as you can see, there's some printing up here. Okay, and so what I did there was she didn't have one for the 4x6, so I created one, and I did this in Photoshop. You can also do it in the Cameo and the Silhouette program too, by the way, and it's perfect because it aligns it, to the page. So anyways, just a heads up on that. So I did a 4x6 card, and I did it in such a fashion, as you can see, that I knew where my printing was going to go. So I did a test run of where it would go, and there you can see right there, sorry for the bad lighting, and there I did the printing there using double-sided tape. And try not to press hard on the double-sided tape. You just need to lay it down, because otherwise it's just going to stick to it really badly, and might ruin your beautiful, beautiful cards. Okay, so that's how I did the printing. with my cards. All right. And then on the quote here it was, I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. And you are. You have free will. You are independent. You can, nobody can stop you. Nobody can cage you. You are not a caged bird. You are free. Go and be. I so believe that. With the hardships that I have lived in my life, it took me a long time, but here I am, 29 and holding. Just kidding. I know I am free. Nobody can cage you, okay? So remember that. Okay, so the next one here is I layered with, I love to layer. I love layer, and I love to be able to feel the layers and the texture. I just love it. I'm tactile. So in this one I did with the Affirma, and I did some writing here to go with my image. And this image was taken a couple weeks ago. I was driving with my daughter picking up a friend of hers, and there was this awesome road, and the street was actually called Lover's Lane. And I got out of my car, and I was notorious back in the day when I would just go sit in the middle of the road and take pictures lying down, whatever, just to get the shot. If you're a photographer, you understand, you'll do whatever it takes to get the shot. I even climbed the roof of my car. But I just, for me, this represents just keep going forward, no matter what, just keep going. And Jane Eyre has a quote, and it says, don't look forward, don't look backward, look upward. And that is so true, so true. I've also dated it here as well because December 24th, 2011 was a really hard time for me in my life. I developed dysphagia. I actually was hospitalized for quite some time, and I didn't get to spend the holidays with my family or my birthday. But, so that was a new chapter in my life as well. So it was really important for me to focus on that. It was like a mantra to keep going. You can do this, you can do this. So that's why I have that there. Okay, so the next one here is a digi-stamp from Some Odd Girl, and this is Gaze. And thank you so much to the ladies at the forum at Some Odd Girl, because they helped me out in selecting the one that would best represent Jane Eyre. I was going to choose a Reading May, but I thought maybe there was some other digi there that could represent her a lot better, and you girls did an awesome job. Thank you so much. So I colored her with my Copics, and I did some layering using the Affirma. And then I also added a pink dragonfly clip. And pink is really important to me because I had cancer back in 2010, and I don't know why, but pink, I was gravitating towards it, and it really grounded me. So I tend to find that I have pink in my projects a lot. So excuse the pink. I love pink. Not baby pink, but the brighter, tutti frutti kind of pink. So I gotta have pink everywhere. All right. And I'm not a girly girl either. Okay, so moving along. All right, so here I already described what I did was my favorite book. So, I used one of these cards where it was just blank so I could print on it. And I added a brad with some Affirma there, and that's from Echo Park Love Story. And then, of course, I thought this was this was fitting. It was meant to be. It had the library card in the mini kit, and it came stamped, and so I took a picture of my book, and I layered it with some Affirma. Again, I dated it March, actually it should be March 11th. I made an error there, but it's March 11th. It should be March 11th. I need to change that. 2010 was the day I had my surgery for kidney cancer. So, I just put dates there that mean something to me, that were a different chapter in my life, The next one here, now Jane is very plain, but I was going to put a sparkle bag or something in here, pocket, but I couldn't do that, right? It wouldn't do Jane justice. She's plain, but I also have to incorporate myself into this, and I do love glitter. Not a ton of it, but I do need a little bit of sparkle, so I added a little bit of sparkle. And I also have a little phrase that I printed, and it goes like this: yet it would be your duty to bear it if you could not avoid it. It is weak and silly to say you cannot bear what is your fate to be required to bear. Now, Yeah, it's a bit of a tongue twister, right? Or wrap it around your head, but it is so very true. When things happen to us, we ask ourselves, why? Why is this happening to us? Why me? We get to the self-pity mode and we say, why? Why is this happening to me? And it's okay to have that self-pity mode for moments, right? And I'm not talking about crying. I'm talking about asking, why, and then feeling sorry and getting stuck in that vicious circle. Because it's your fate, it's your life, it's happening to you. You must face it. You have to do whatever you can do to get past it, to get beyond it, to make it better if you can, to find a way to accept it and move on. And for me, that has been the biggest thing in battling and dealing with having to go through cancer, surgeries, and treatments that I face, and also now living with dysphagia. So it has been really difficult, but this empowers me to keep going. It's my fate. I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I can't ask why. It just is. So I keep going on. I've accepted it, and I just make the best of it. Okay, so now everybody, when they say Jane Eyre, they think she's some sad, pitiful kind of person, and she's not, because I think she's a lovely person, and she was loved, and she loved. She was very much in love with Rochester, and it was so sad. And I thought it was so awesome that in the Affirma pack, and see, it was meant to be, there was an R, and I thought that was really fitting. So I included that here, and I included the love of my life, my husband, who's also my rock, and our wedding date. And I did some layering with the Affirma. This is all the paint chips and stuff came with the Affirma. And I did some frames in my Cameo, and there's my husband. So I needed to incorporate Jane Eyre's love and mine. Now, in this one right here, I did some stamping Hopes and Dreams and Believe. And again, I did the December 24th, 2011, because that's when I had the dysphagia was at its worst. And I did my layering with the Affirma, and the brads I pulled right here. There was a price number there. It said $4. I didn't want to show that. So I put a brad in from Echo Park. I did the layering with, I cut this was from the Affirma, so I used the Ticket die cut, and ran it through my Big Shot. And I layered my image there, and I put Hopes and Dreams and Believe, and to me that gives me strength to go forward, to have hope, and that it's going to get better. I'm told I wasn't going to recover from the dysphagia, but I can almost have a normal life in regards to eating. I'm trying the best that I can, so I have hope, and I believe that one day I'll be able to go to a restaurant and sit down comfortably with my family and have a meal with them, or at least dessert. Okay, so moving along, the next one here is from a quote. It's a picture of me being silly, and Jane Eyre has the quote that she would rather be happy than be dignified. Well, during these past 3 years, I felt that I have lost a lot of my dignity, and I've said that to my husband often, because he has been there for me. He's been my rock. So at this point right now, I just feel like I just need to be happy. It's like, forget everything else, let it go, and I choose to be happy. I want to be happy. And because life changes in a blink of an eye, everything changes. So that quote was really important to me. Okay, so the next one here, I took this picture back. I'm trying to remember if I took it before I had my surgery for cancer or after. I can't remember. But anyways, it was a very sad time for me, and scary. But I wasn't struggling really, really bad mentally, I think, with the cancer issue or anything like that. I was just what was going to happen, Of course, I was crying. And so I really wanted to bring that into my project here. And I might get a little slack because the quote is not as it is. My quote is, crying does not mean you are a wreck. It's a sign you are alive. The actual quote is, crying does not mean you are weak. It's a sign you are alive. But the reason I put rec there is because I'm in the country and I get country doctors. And they didn't know what was happening to me. So, and it took too many months for them to figure out part of the problem. So, and during that time, they had the mentality of back in the 50s where they treated women that they were just battling emotional issues. And, so that's what I was battling with them. And so that made my situation health wise worse. It made everything more desperate for me in trying to get proper medical care. But finally, thankfully, got into good hands, and we got a plan down in action, and things started to fall into place for me. So that's why I changed the quote there a little bit, just so that it reflect on my life as well. But and keeping it with Jane Eyre as well, because it's Jane Eyre and me. I'm trying to mesh the two together. So this one right here is really cool. I'm really happy about this one. I layered it with the Affirma, and down here I used my new die cut, my new puncher. It's supposed to flap, and I did a little gold butterfly there. But what I did was I took one of the cards, 3x4 cards, and I went into my Cameo program, and I did uh, the print and cut, or just the cut, sorry, but I changed it to a print. So all it was then I just ran through the printer and printed "Faith is stronger than fear." So I thought that was really cool. And you have so much. You can do so much with the Cameo. Anything you can design. Oh, it's just awesome, awesome, super tool. In the ticket here, it says "good." I really thought that was important because Jane Eyre was good. She was a good person. She was known for that. She was such a lovely person. She was, and everybody just saw through her. Just looked past her, and she was such a good person, and all these things kept happening to her. So I really felt that was really important there. I also wanted to bring to this quote here: be anything. You can be anything. You can do anything if you put your mind to it. Jane Eyre, they never gave her, the people around her never gave her credit for how intelligent she was. She was so smart. She knew so much, and she wasn't given credit. And I think her abusers and some that did not abuse her and took care of her, they did admire her, or the ones who were abusing were jealous of her because she was a very bright person. Um, this one right here says be positive. You must be positive. You have to be positive. Through any hardship, you have to be positive. If you're not positive and you don't have hope, then you have nothing. So you must remain positive. This one right here is a digi from Some Odd Girl. And again, I wanted to bring in the love because she was very much in love with Mr. Rochester. And so I did the digi, coloring it with my Copics, and I cut it in half. And I used the Affirma. And what I did is I tried my hand at a beard. Because my husband, he has a 5 o'clock shadow, so I hope I did Christy at Some Odd Girl proud. I liked it. It was my first attempt. And then I also did some stamping here and here as well. I did some stamping. And there. Because you want to have some sort of repetition, right? And then what I did was I was going to put a frame, but then I changed my mind. I thought I'd leave it and let it stand alone. Okay, so next one down is this one here. This is one of my favorite Instagram shots that I took. Most of the pictures that I take right now are with my iPhone. I'm unable to carry my Canon, so I just use my iPhone. And this is a favorite shot of mine, and it's just basically to represent a new day. I put the number 7 there because 7 to me is a lucky number, and I feel despite all the hardships, whether for me and also for Jane Eyre or anyone else, despite all the hardships that we have, and we are lucky. We're walking the earth. We are here. We have a chance. It might not be a great life. We might be struggling, but we're here. We're with our family. We're with our friends. And so I think for that, we should be thankful and grateful for that. So that's why I had put that in there. And these last two right here, I'm really pleased with them too. Food is a huge thing in my life right now, huge. So I really had to represent them in there because it's a really difficult hardship, not being able to eat. So, I thoughts that go through my mind, that have gone through my mind. I dated it when I was hospitalized, and just to taste the fragrance, the foods you smell and stuff like that. It's really hard, but I'm doing a lot better. Whereas before I couldn't be near my family when they're eating, now I can, so I'm getting better with it. I'm accepting it. I have accepted it. And of course, but I still wish I could eat certain things. And hence the cupcake. Look at that delicious cupcake. And I did the cupcake in the Cameo, and it's a cut. It's layered, actually. It's a layer cut. And I put dimensionals on it. And so it's puffing, it's sticking out. And then, of course, I inked it up just to give it a little bit of more, and like it's popping out. Give it some depth. So I really, really love that cupcake. I think I'm going to make more cupcakes. But, so this is my project life, my favorite book, Jane Eyre, and I did change some cards. If you remember, I had the polka dots here, and I had some busy pattern here. I felt that once I had put some stuff down more as I was layering it, it just got way too busy, so I had to tone it down, but still keeping with the same color. I kept the yellow and I kept the turquoise there. So I believe those were the only two papers that I had changed. And what I did to one side, I did definitely try to bring it over to the other. I think I did some stamping here, I did stamping there. The gold is on both sides, and the layering, if you notice here in the corner, I got the layered affirma, and I have the layered affirma as well here. So that's just trying to keep a balance, and that way it tells it's nice and cohesive. It's not too busy, and always remember that your project life is yours. You do it the way you want to. It doesn't have to be this much detail. It can be just words. It can be all pictures. You could just put cards in it because you like the cards, because some of these cards are really so pretty. You don't even want to touch them. So make it your own and have fun with it, and look on Pinterest for ideas and stuff like that, what everybody else is doing, and just go for it. Have fun and let yourself go. And because this is about, well, my project life is about me. Some people, they do project life about their families or their vacations and things like that. And so for project life, it's going to be about challenges. The one being my favorite book. Another challenge could be, what are my likes? But I will always have my thoughts into there, what I'm thinking, feeling, what's revolving around my life at that time, but also my family too. I will definitely bring my family into it. So in this one here, you don't see my children. I have 4 children, but you definitely see my husband. And maybe in the next one, in the foods, you'll see my children. Okay, so I hoped you liked this project life. And I know I did. I really liked it. And again, it's the Maggie Holmes Flea Market mini kit. I have only one kit left in the studio. And Little Birdie told me that I may be wholesaling or getting connected with Project Life to be able to supply Project Life in through the studio. So that's pretty exciting. And okay, so with that, I'll let you go. If you have any questions, or if you want to come on over to the studio and PL with me, I would love to. And hopefully catch you on my fan page. Until next time, until the next kit. If you have a request on a kit, just let me know, and I can work on that kit. That would make things interesting. Or if you have a prompt too, let me know. All right. So